Hello, this is Randy Stanislav, and I'm Vice Chair of the Monona County Democratic Party. I'm going to talk today about the county plans for Get Out the Vote for the general election coming up on November 8th of this year. We're very lucky in the Democratic Party this year to have many great candidates for office. And there are three ways that we can help our candidates. Certainly, we can all vote. If you're in a position to, you can contribute to their campaigns. But most importantly, we can increase our influence by helping others to vote. Now, the turnout in Monona County in the 2020 general election was great. As a county, we voted about 74% of registered voters. Democrats voted just over 78%. Now, this was quite a step up from the 2016 general election, where we had about 63% of registered voters participating in that election. But things were a little different in 2020. If you can recall, it was a time of pandemic, and there was much greater emphasis on absentee voting. It was made really convenient by mail-in and drop-off voting, but the Republican legislature saw a problem because when Democrats vote, Democrats win. So there's been several changes to the schedules and rules for voting that were passed by our Republican legislature and signed by our Republican governor. The absentee voting period has been shortened from 29 to 20 days. The polls are closing an hour earlier. You must get your absentee ballot requests in 15 days before the election. Used to be 11 days. The county auditors can no longer mail out absentee ballot applications unless a voter requests one. And all the absentee ballots must arrive by 8 p.m. on election day. As opposed to last election, they could be in by noon the following Monday. Only the voter, an immediate family member, a household member, or what's called a delivery agent may return absentee ballots. And this can cause problems for our older citizens and those people who might have a disability. So a delivery agent is someone that the voter can designate and sign a form giving them authorization to return their ballot. However, somebody who's a delivery agent can only return 2 absentee ballots during the entire voting period. Counties are now allowed only 1 drop box for returning absentee ballots, and there are a lot of expensive and new rules about how those drop boxes must be maintained. You can see here the effect on Monona Democratic Party. The requirements for doing constant monitoring and pickup from that box that were set in place by the legislature make it prohibitively expensive for us to even provide a drop box, so they are closed during the entire voting period this year. So this is the rough schedule for this upcoming election. You can see when in-person voting starts, when you can request an absentee ballot, when you must return that request to the auditor, and when your absentee ballot must be in the auditor's office. And as I mentioned before, there are new restrictions on who can return an absentee ballot. So our proposal for the Get Out the Vote process for the Monona County Democrats this year is to do this by precinct and to assemble teams in each Monona County precinct to focus on their local voters. This is a list of the county precincts. With the last census, we've gone from 11 precincts down to 10, and there has been a little bit of changing of the borders. In organizing the Get Out to Vote, we will have a core group kind of working to support each precinct, and hopefully we'll find leaders and volunteers in each of the precinct to contact and encourage their voters. The central Get Out the Vote effort will provide detailed election schedules and detailed current Iowa voting rules. Again, dates and rules have changed. We'll provide lists of the registered Democrats and a list of the no party registered people in your precinct. We will provide you any tools and materials like postcards that you need, and we are committed to getting you whatever resources you need to make your precincts Get Out the Vote a success. Each precinct team can recruit additional volunteers. You can decide how you want to contact voters in your precinct. Can be any combination of door knocking, phone calls, postcards, or any other ideas that you might have that you think are appropriate for your precinct. We hope to get this organized soon, and we plan to begin contacting voters by mid-September. So our first steps are to identify precinct level leaders who can then recruit other volunteers. We'll have an organizing meeting with each precinct, and we want to be ready to go right after Labor Day. So if you're willing to lead your precinct, here's a number of ways that you can contact us. You can give a call to Jane or myself. You can email us at mononadems@gmail.com, or we have a new ability. If you wish to text us, you can send us a text at that phone number. We hope you'll join us in this very important election as we get out the vote in Monona County. Thanks. So I might also mention that this doesn't all have to be hard work. A few weeks ago, we held a social event here in Blencoe and invited other Democrats and progressive friends in for a lunch and fellowship. And it really felt very good to be able to sit and comfortably talk about politics and anything else with people who share progressive views. And that should be part of your plans for your precinct. Take a break, spend some time with your neighbors and friends, and let's get out the vote.